Hello, everybody. For today's episode, we're going to be talking about where to find your corporate clients for small business owners or consultants and service providers. We know there are different ways to find clients, but when it comes to getting in front of executives, VPs, CEOs, founders, where do we find them? It's not like they hang out in my gym all the time. How do we get in front of them? How do we pitch our service? This is what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to share with you some places you can get in front of your corporate clients. This is a big thing for those people who know me. I've already talked about the importance of making sure you get in front of the right client. When it comes to sales, if you are able to get in front of the people who have the unique needs or challenges you can solve, you're more likely to get the success, simply put. So making sure that you have the right group of prospects, right group of people that are attracted to your service, your job is half done. So today, what we're going to be talking about is extremely important to making sure that you get in front of quality prospects, quality people. A lot of times we know that we need to do a networking event, but instead of really taking our time, sitting down and understanding where our decision makers hang out, we would just go to any networking events we could find, and we would be investing our time and even money, resources to attend these events. We get exhausted. We spend a lot of time preparing for it, go out, get all dressed up, makeup, things, and we get to that event. And finally, we feel exhausted, talking to a lot of people, coming home and feel disappointed that those people are not your ideal clients. And what's even worse is you might be pitching your service and they would be telling you that, hey, I don't understand what your service is about, or we don't have a need for your service. And that's when you start questioning whether you're doing the right thing, whether you could ever make it, or whether it's even worth it, whether I can ever be successful. So all the doubts and feeling overwhelmed happens. And what was the problem? The problem was probably you are not in front of the right people. If you're not in front of the right people and you invest your time and energy into it, it might make you feel even more overwhelmed, more exhausted, and it might make you want to give up when it's too early to give up. And that is why I want to highlight the importance of taking this time to really take down a piece of pen and paper and write down the really, really important places where you need to invest your time and energy to find your ideal client. It could be a journey. You might not get it right all the time or right at the beginning, but it is worth that journey because, hey, let's face it, it's not that easy to get in front of CEOs, VPs, and directors. But we've talked a lot about in our Women Making Big Sales is that the power of big sales is that you build long-term relationship with these big clients. Once you build those relationships, they come back to you, they trust you, they believe in you, and they're more likely to continue working with you over and over again. So it is worth the investment to continue working with these big clients or look for these big clients. So let's talk about different places where you can find corporate clients. The first thing is it's a networking event. If you can attend, especially the most important thing is industry specific conferences, trade shows, or business events, you're more likely to meet professionals in different corporations. I love trade shows. For those people who know me, I started attending trade shows when I was 15 years old. I fell in love with trade shows because it is a place where you get to meet people in your industry. You get to learn from each other. You get to talk to each other and see what other people are doing. The exciting technology, creativity happen in business. I fell in love with the world business when I was 15, when I was attending trade shows. All the creativity and business innovations. I love trade shows. I know you probably hear me very excited talking about trade shows. But also I love trade shows because usually that's if you get into the right trade shows or right business events, right conferences, that's where you get to meet some of the hard to reach decision makers. A lot of decision makers, oftentimes they're stuck in meetings, conference rooms during the day. But once there are important trade shows and conferences, that's when they come out and start meeting other people, other clients, and they also like to attend industry trade shows to learn about the industry trends and what other people are doing. So I mentioned about networking events but specifically about industry specific events. So here's what I often hear other women, a lot of people do is they would attend networking events, but very general events rather than very industry or very specific events. I want to encourage you to be as specific as possible so that you really get an opportunity to find the people that you want to support and you can really support. So if you're not sure which industry you want to focus on, you can try a few industries and focus on those. But the more specific though you are, the more likely you're going to connect and get in front of those really hard to reach decision makers. So go look for conferences, trade shows, or business events. Google them. If you're like, how should I find these events? Google. This is the best way. Or I've started using AI. Just ask and then do more research. Always be ready to just use the internet. Internet is your best friend. Whatever you don't know, just type what industry trade shows, specific industry trade shows you could attend in your local market. But that is one of my favorite ways to meet, especially those very hard to reach decision makers. It can be hard to reach them on LinkedIn or other ways, but trade shows, conferences tend to be a great opportunity to get in front of them. Industry associations. You could join your relevant industry associations, and then they often organize events, networking events, to help people connect with each other. There's one woman I support, and she's able to meet really, really hard decision makers specifically through industry associations. And industry associations sponsored luncheons and networking events. Like when she was telling me about meeting CEOs and VPs and all these amazing people, I was amazed, and I was asking her, how were you able to get in front of these people? And that was her favorite way of getting or networking or getting in front of the decision makers, using industry associations. So again, back to industry association. Do you have a specific industry you want to target? Search for the associations and look for those that often host luncheons or networking event, happy hours that would allow you to connect with other people and your decision makers. Also attend your seminars, help them promote their seminars, and build great relationships with the host or the organizers of these industry associations. Get your foot in the door, and they are gonna introduce you to other very hard to reach corporate clients. Another way we talked about online, right? Online is a very popular thing that you can start leveraging. There are some online platforms, especially on LinkedIn. There are LinkedIn groups. I'm going to be transparent with you guys. I have not gotten a lot of great results with LinkedIn group. I don't know if you feel the same way. I'm always very open-minded when it comes to different ways of getting prospects, getting in front of decision makers. For me, LinkedIn group has not worked so well in terms of the level of engagement, but there are different online platforms that would allow you to also connect with industry specific people. I keep coming back to the industry because there's nothing more powerful when you decide to focus on specific industries, because that allows you to kind of become the thought leader of that specific industry. And you can also be very targeted in terms of your sales and marketing efforts. So if you're wondering, hey, should I be focusing on specific industry? Reach out to me, reach out to our company and really help you. We can help you brainstorm and find the industry that you should really target. Having a specific industry that you want to target can save you a lot of time and also can help you stand out from your competitor. Because if you say, I'm a consultant that really specializes in supporting financial technology companies. I'm a company that really specializes in supporting hospitals. The fact that you specialize in something gives you more authority, credibility, and people will think that you understand the unique needs they face or challenges they face. So that's another great way of getting in front of your ideal clients or corporate clients. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite way of getting in front of your decision maker. This is the most powerful way to get in front of big clients. Over and over again, whenever I talk to business owners, whenever they close a sales, I ask this question: how did you get in front of this account or this decision maker? And I'd say 60% of the time, even 70, 80, this is the way they get their clients. So you got to listen closely of the best way, the most powerful way when it comes to B2B sales, when it comes to getting those big deals. Referrals. Referrals is still the most powerful way to getting your foot in the door with those big clients. When it comes to every time I ask, from my experience, when I look at all the deals I've closed, majority of time it's because somebody just tells me that, hey, I know somebody else that may benefit from your service. So referrals in the B2B sales, when it comes to getting big sales, is still the most powerful way. So look at your network and look at the people. Really take a lot of times we are busy thinking about different strategies, LinkedIn, Instagram, doing social media, maybe cold calling, networking. A lot of times we're looking outward in terms of trying to get in front of those really hard to reach decision makers. We forget to look at our own connections. We forget to look at our past colleagues, people we know, people we've worked with before, our past clients, and the kind of connections they have. By trying to dig deep into the relationship, our connections we have, you might uncover a lot of amazing opportunities. Make sure to also check out some of our other episodes. I've talked about how to ask for referrals, ask for business introductions. It's also, I think I spent quite a bit of time talking about it inside our sales script. You can download my word for word sales script. I also talk about how to ask for introductions without feeling too pushy. It's a powerful way. It's very important to really capture this opportunity. When it comes to getting your leads, getting in front of decision makers through referrals or business introductions. And if you feel like, hey, how should I do this? Make sure to check out our resources, but do not overlook the power of referrals. This is probably still one of the top strategy when it comes to getting in front of your ideal clients. Okay, there's other ways. There's another way when it comes to getting in front of decision makers. And this is the strategy how I started. So I was called the queen of cold calling back then, I'd say 20 years ago. When I just started out, I used to do tons of cold calling. I think I've done 125 cold calls back then when I was working in the financial industry. But every single new industry I enter, I would not have any connections, any connections or any people I could talk to. So cold calling or cold emailing had always been the thing that I started. Obviously, now we do LinkedIn introductions, but I think the strategy is still very different. You develop a list of people you want to target. You reach out to them and see if they need your help. And again, it is a strategy that a lot of people say, I don't want to feel pushy. Here's my thought about feeling pushy. I'd rather people go out there and do something and then really talk about their business than not doing anything and feel the fear of sounding too pushy and sounding too salesy. We have a lot of resources. I think on our website, we also have resource called 5-Day Mindset Challenge that really help you transform the way you see sales, and then transform your mindset from feeling fearful, scared, and even overwhelmed to feeling a little bit feel more authentic when it comes to sales. And I really encourage you to check that out if you have that fear of sounding too pushy or being rejected. But we have to develop our network from ground zero. Not everybody's born with lots of connections and know everybody. So if you want to really take your business to a great level and work with a lot of amazing people, I really welcome you to reach out to people and talk to people about your service. You are amazing. And when it comes to reaching out to people, you're simply there to tell them that, hey, I have this service that I really think can help you. Are you interested? And that's simply what we're doing, because we are helping people. We're telling people the amazing things we can do to transform their lives. So I still do cold calls or cold email or reach out through cold outreach through LinkedIn. And that is how I build relationships. And I have some of the most amazing client relationships that with women that I absolutely love or respect. And they all started with cold. The reality is that every relationship starts with a cold relationship, and slowly it becomes warmer and warmer, and it becomes a great relationship. So it has to start somewhere. So don't be afraid of doing your cold calls. You can do it. The next thing that you can do is generating, creating content on LinkedIn or on social media to get the attention of your decision makers. And we have some women that have gotten great results with their content or even their public relations appearance. So we have one woman that has done really well when it comes to participating in some industry-led podcasts and publications and interviews, and she's been able to build a lot of credibility, and even just clients reaching out to her after hearing her content, her information on the industry magazine. So that is another great way to do it. And another great thing that a lot of people don't know that is that there are a lot of procurement websites that you can check out. So some governments, if you're going after government or if you're going after big companies such as Disney, they have specific websites for vendors, for procurement, and you can apply to be their official vendor, and you can go through that procurement process. So you have to respond to requests for proposals, requests for quotes, and you go through those kind of lengthy process. The process might seem overwhelming to begin with, but just remember, everything always seems a little bit harder the first time, just like the first time we ride our bikes. It always seems a little bit harder, but the more we do it, the faster it gets. And we have a lot of women inside our executive lounge, our membership program. We have women that are so comfortable doing the request for proposal, the RFPs or RFQs, that they get really used to it and it doesn't take them a long time to do it anymore. So you'd be surprised if you're really going after big companies. Go to their website, look around. There's probably specific websites to help you get to design specifically for vendors like you to work with them. And they even host networking events for you to attend and to meet with the decision makers. Imagine the opportunity to actually have events hosted by your ideal clients for you to meet with your decision makers. So make sure to check out their website, their procurement websites. And also know that a lot of companies really support minority-owned businesses. If you're a minority-owned businesses, you can go to some of your the website, and they might give you preferred access to the company. Man, have we talked a lot about different strategies to get in front of corporate clients? So if somebody comes to me and says, I don't know how to do it, it's too complicated, all I can say is, they're there, but we just have to do it one step at a time. We just need to dig deep. There are different opportunities. Okay, so I still got one more to talk to you. I mean, two more, but one would be the local chamber of commerce. Local chamber of commerce is another great way to get in front of your decision makers. I think we have some amazing leadership coaches that were able to get close leads, get amazing deals simply through local chamber of commerce. So reach out to local chamber of commerce and let them know what you do, and they're there to support you. A lot of times, all we have to do is ask for help, and people will be happy to support you. So check out the local chamber of commerce, check out their events, go attend the events, and you will be surprised the kind of connections you can develop in those events. Last thing, I kind of talked a little bit about it. And inside Women Making Big Sales, we also have a lot of training about this. It's about LinkedIn outreach. LinkedIn is still very powerful when it comes to connecting and finding corporate clients. So knowing the strategies to use LinkedIn to connect with decision makers is a must-have skill to have. And I talked a lot about back then, I would do a lot about cold calling. Right now, I do a lot of LinkedIn outreach. And it is a great way to really find the specific decision maker and then really reach out and connect with them. So make sure to check our website to find more resources on LinkedIn outreach. That's it. These are the different places you can find these big clients, the clients that are going to give you 5-6-figure deals. It's a lot, but I wanted to write them all down, and then make sure to check out our podcast. Maybe there will be podcast notes. I don't know if I'll write down every single place, but it is worth spending time, investing time to really understand where your ideal clients hang out. You can do it. These are great and amazing opportunities to reach out to these decision makers that can give you 5-6-figure deals. That will be able to give you repeat business. These are the people, once you have them as clients, they're going to give you so much credibility when it comes to your company. And they're going to also give you a lot of industry knowledge that you can use to service other big companies too. So I encourage you to take your time and let me know how it goes. Are you able, which strategy, which tip has been most useful to you? What has been successful? For those who know me well, you know this is my favorite question. How did you get the lead? Tell me how you got the leads, because I want to tell more other women how they got the leads. By telling me, it allows me to share this success story with other people. So share with me on social media, or even send me an email. Let me know, and I'll make sure to share your success story with other people. All right, that's it for today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.